everyone. In this video, we are going to talk about disciplining a child or not. First of all, we need to understand what discipline means for you. Do you want your child to just follow the instructions and behave how you want them to behave? Or do you want your child to understand why some behaviors are acceptable and why some of them are not? So let's try to understand what disciplining is. So maybe you will let your child know like, okay, this is what I want, this is how you will behave. So then the child will not understand why they have to behave and they will not agree on your rules and terms. So instead of that, try letting your child know and let them understand why certain behaviors are not acceptable. So I'm going to give you some few tips and tricks and how to guide your children or guide your child to follow what is right and what is wrong. So instead of disciplining them, try to guide them and let them understand what is acceptable and what is not acceptable. So this will be very easy for your children to understand, and they will follow the rules and regulations what you impose on them. And this will be not disciplining at all. This will be like trying to make them understand what is right and what is wrong for them. So I hope you will enjoy this video. So these are some of the solutions the parents have found out. So let's see. First, we need to understand why your child is behaving in a certain way. So if they are hungry, they would be behaving very rudely because they are hungry. They are actually hangry, isn't it? Hungry and angry together. So they don't know how to control their emotions of anger, and they are really hungry, so they don't know how to behave in that way. And then, or maybe they are very cranky for some reason. Maybe you want them to sleep and they're not tired, they don't want to sleep. So at that time, and then maybe you have lost your cool and you had a busy day or a stressful day, and then you are reflecting that on your child. There can be many reasons for this, isn't it? So let's see how we can help our child to behave in a certain way which is acceptable in the society according to the norms. So let's see. So what we can do is, what I would do and I suggest the parents to do is, don't put them on timeout. So for the first few days, they will be very cranky and they will start crying, screaming. They don't want to go and sit on a quiet chair or a quiet step or in a room. And then after a few days, when they are used to it, like, okay, so they did something wrong, they'll say like, okay, I'm going and sitting in my room. I'm on timeout. And then I'm going to sit on a step or a chair because I'm on a timeout. So this is what the answer's been given from your child. But they don't understand why they have been on the timeout, because nobody has talked about that to them and why they are going and sitting there on the chair or step or in a room. So first of all, we need to talk to our child and make them understand what is the right direction. Show them the right path, guide them instead of punishing them, instead of disciplining them and saying like, this is what you need to do. Instead of that, tell them why they have to do and why certain behaviors are acceptable and not. Say for example, if your child is not tidying up, then maybe you can tell them like, okay, look, if we don't tidy up, then you will not have enough space to play around, or you will not, in the morning when you wake up, say for example at night, your child has not tidied up and they want to sleep. So you can say that, look, if you haven't tidied up in the morning when you wake up and then when you're walking, you will be stepping on all your toys and some of the toys might be broken. And then do you want your favorite toy or your best toys to be broken? So explain it to them. So then they will understand. So let's tidy up first and then go to bed. So this is what they understand and they relate that, okay, my toys will be broken if I don't tidy up. So then they will start tidying up. This is just an example. So for every other thing, whatever you want them to discipline, explain it to them first and tell them the reasons why they have been told to do or to behave in a certain way. So this will help them to understand why they have to tidy up or wash their hands before eating. So, you know, all these little things. So if you explain it to them why, they will certainly do that in a certain way, how you want them to be. So you're disciplining them, but in an understanding way. You're guiding them the right path and the right direction. This is what I do in my class as well. When the children are, say for example, they don't want to tidy up. So then we say like, okay, look, if we have so many toys lying around, how are we going to bring our backpacks when it's our lunchtime? So, and then they understand that, okay, yeah, there's no space for them to put their lunch boxes on the table. So that's why we need to tidy up. So all these little things add up to them. And then they come and say like, okay, now it's our lunchtime, so we need to tidy up so that we can put our lunch boxes on the table. This is just an example. So it's always better for them to know and to understand why there are certain things they have to do, why certain rules are there, and why they need to follow these rules. So if you start explaining it to them, they get it very easily and it will go on a long run. So if you're punishing, you have punished them, but they don't know why they have been punished, first of all, and they don't even correct the behavior. So it will continue. Being cranky or being angry, this will continue because nobody has told them why this behavior is not acceptable, isn't it? So when they are like, screaming, throwing tantrum, just let them be for a few minutes. And once they are done, then you can talk about it. Do you want to come and talk? What happened? Why did you behave in a certain way? So what is your problem? What is bothering you? And then, sometimes they just need a hug from you and nothing else. So when you hug them and then, comfort them, so that calms them down. Sometimes that like, they are seeking some attention. So there's some things going on in them. They don't know they're behaving in that way because they want some attention from you. Just a hug will be really a magic one. So try this and see if it really works. So let them understand why you are asking them to behave in a certain way. So this they will keep in their mind, and even when they grow up, they will know why they have to behave in a certain way because you have already explained it to them when they were little. So they understand what is wrong, what is right. So they make their own decisions now because you have guided them in the right direction and you have led the right path for them. And once they are growing bigger, like say for example, they are in a primary school or in a secondary school or even in high school, then when they come to you and then, when you see that they are behaving in a certain way, which is really not acceptable, and then you can ask them, look, there are two paths. So this one is in the right direction, this one is in the wrong direction. So then they can choose the path what they want to, isn't it? So this will be like, you are getting the answers from them. So just put them open-ended questions and say like, okay, do you think this behavior was good, the way you behaved? What do you think you could have done better? So which behavior do you want to continue? So what do you think? What was the right direction to follow? So do you think this direction, the path which you are taking, is it right? So what will be the consequences you are going to face later on in stage? So when they are little, you just understand, make them understand that, okay, this is the problem, this is how it will turn out, and this is how they have to behave. So when they grow up, put open-ended questions for them and let the answers come from them. So when the answers come from them, then they will definitely follow the path, the right path, because you are guiding them. You just have to show the directions and guide them, and they will walk on the right path. And every time there is something going on in their life, they will always remember, okay, there's two paths. My dad or mom has told me. So which path do I take? And what will be the consequences if I take in a certain path? So this is very, very good way of introducing them to understand why certain behaviors are good and why certain behaviors are not good. So instead of disciplining and telling them do this or go over there, sit over there, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do this. Let them understand why you are expecting these behaviors from them and what is good in behaving in a certain way. So I always believe in that. Instead of punishing the child for doing whatever which you don't like it, so just make them understand it, and it always helps them. And then when you are in stress, don't talk to them. It will make the things really worse, and the child will not behave why you are stressing and why you are putting the anger on them. Instead of that, just go away from that spot, and then maybe someone else can handle the situation better, who is impatient and who is a bit calm. Even in the schools also, it's very, very important to stay calm and as patient as possible, and then it doesn't affect the child so much. Otherwise, you can't handle your emotions as well, and the child cannot handle their emotions, and it can really become a very big thing, and it will be very bad. So I would definitely recommend you to, instead of disciplining, I would recommend you to guide your child and to the right direction, and allow them to understand and let them put their feelings in a certain way. So if you just guide them, and then they can also control their feelings and emotions. So these are all the helping tools for them. These are all the fundamentals and basics. So this may, if the foundation is very, very strong, then the building will be really strong. So you need to make all these foundations very smooth and very understandable for them. So then when they grow up, they will be a very good adults, and they will make their decisions in a very right way and in a proper guidance, because you have guided them all the way through their lives. I hope you enjoyed this video and have benefited from this video. Please like, comment and subscribe to my channel, and also share these videos with your friends and families so they can also benefit from this. Thank you so much for watching.